Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now this is going to be a slightly different episode because it's kind of sad. I'm going to have to say goodbye to this, my lovely Cooper Tavascan. Now I've had this for roughly 3 months and I've done around 7,000 miles in it, and I now have to give it back because it's going to be swapped out for something else. And I've enjoyed it so much, I've decided to do something I've always planned to do on this channel, which is take you guys down one of my favourite roads ever. So this is a new part of EVs. How shit are they? We're going to do Are They Fun on Backroads. And today we're going to do the 37 miles between Brampton in Cumbria, across to Alston, and then down into Penrith. So yeah, cut to me in the car, slightly drier. Because of course it had to happen, but we've had sunny weather for about 3 weeks, and the one day I come to do this, it starts raining. In a sec. Now that I've done the intro and clipped my microphone onto me rather than holding it because I know that annoys some of you, I want to go through the very, very basic rules of this. One, I will have the large screen in front of me showing the battery percentage, because I know some of you want to know how badly the battery percentage changes when you thrash an EV. I'm not going to be thrashing an EV, by the way. I have taped over my speedo. Now I can see it on the heads-up display. You can't see it here on this camera back here, and that is because I don't want any of you trying to go around corners at a legal speed that I'm doing, thinking you can do these speeds. I'm used to these things. As I said, this is my favorite road. This is one of the roads I grew up with. As soon as I passed my test and driving this road to see friends, if you may possibly know those friends. Anyway, this is one of my favorite roads. Very, very simple rules of engagement. I will not be speeding. Yes, I've covered up my speedo so that you can see the speed I am doing, but that doesn't mean I'm speeding. I will not be thrashing the car. I will not be pushing the limit. I will not be taking stupid decisions and risks, because this is a video to show you my favorite road, not how quick this car is, because it is very quick. Anyway, all that said, cut to the onboards. Oh, by the way, I may edit some of this, and you may not see all the road. So I may either speed up, cut out, or just amend some of this footage. If you want the full footage, it's on the Rob Chalmers Onboard's channel, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. So if you wouldn't mind pressing subscribe, like, or all that YouTube bump, then go ahead and do it. See you in a sec. Conversation, you will be able to hear me more than you can in a race car, because this car is quieter. Now, yes, I'm going to leave the audio on. You may hear me swearing, you may hear stone chips, you may hear rattles. That's the baby seat that I've got in the back of this car. But again, I'm not going to be throwing this car around. I am just going to be enjoying this road. It has been a long time since I've got to do any nice driving. Unfortunately, there's a dead animal on the road there. I may be straying across the centre line. I will be doing that when I have complete and clear vision ahead, and I know I can respond in time. I will not be crossing on blind corners. on the video that you can see what I can see, or that you're looking where I'm looking and noticing what I'm noticing. Oops. Not entirely sure what that was that flew across the car, but through here. That will allow the car to move around a little bit more. 30 limits, so being very respectful and doing 30. GoPros always make things look quicker because of the lens that they have on them. But because it is a wet, greasy day, I am not going to be doing anything silly in effectively a company car. Now this, although it says drive slowly, is still actually a 60 limit. But seeing how there are people around, cars around, junctions, I am not going to be doing 60 through there. Very distracting driving along here because I'm remembering a lot of my misspent youth along here, and I just love the scenery up here. I really do love the scenery up here. I miss Cumbria. Again, houses just slowing it down ever so slightly. I wish I had a smile cam actually. I wish you could actually see the reflection in my face. I don't know if you can through the mirror, but yeah, I am enjoying it. Oh, electric cars are boring, yeah. Surely, yeah, they are. They're absolutely boring. I am in hell right now. Absolute hell. The roads are still as lumpy as I remember them. If anybody wants to know where I have my dynamic chassis control set to, it is on pretty much full soft. It's 2 clicks up from full soft because I want to be comfortable. It's not about being on track right now. These are very much not track conditions. No, I am not taking the racing line through a lot of corners. Don't care, it's a road, it's not a racetrack. Had this car when I was a teenager, good lord, I would have killed myself. not technically a 30, however, because there are families around junctions and people's driveways, slowing it down to a considerable, more reasonable speed. I also don't know if he's a unmarked police car. Now we're going to cross across from Cumbria now into Northumberland as we just push on again. Push on. Accelerate gently up to the speed limit. Getting lots of juicy regen from these gentle slowdowns. Haltonley Gate, nice little place where kids meet wildlife. It has stopped raining, but it is a very windy day still. You can see it by the trees bending in front of us. Trying my best not to blurt out laughter right now because, oh good lord, this is a lot of fun. Yes, I could be taking smoother lines, yes I could be matching apexes, but I really don't care right now. This is just a beautiful road with beautiful scenery and a car which I'm really enjoying. Cyclists, plenty of room beforehand. Get my arms. Unfortunately, we caught up to somebody else enjoying this road as well. Way of driving compared to some petrol cars. there is certain things you could do in an electric car which you can't do in a petrol car. Where you'd use engine braking just to hold the car down, you can use regen, and you can vary that level of regen, where you can't really change the level of engine braking without going back on the throttle. Down to viaduct. Love this viaduct. Sure what he's doing, so I'm just going to give him a bit of space and time. Traction light coming on, but I can, and yeah, the tyres are working definitely. Coming into Slaggy Ford, 30 limit, so down to 30. Sorry love, I'm not your boss. Cyclists ahead, so when we can accelerate, I will accelerate. Just and off we go again. You can see up ahead, so I'm going to just gently nibble that. Cannot find joy in an electric car, especially on this road, probably has no proper joy in their life, because yeah, these things are fun. And on a road like this is the Cumbrian Nordschleife. This is. Nice. A little bit of left foot braking over here because I know I've got a train exposed farm and house entries, so not going to be. You mean you could absolutely fly along here? I have done in the past. It's not big and it's not clever. If somebody was about to come out of their driveway, or a tractor was going to come out of a field, you would not have a lot of time to react. Anyway, that's Alston. We're now in Alston technically, and we are going to take the cut across here and start heading down to one of the most popular bike roads in Cumbria, which is the Hartside Pass. Obviously quaint little village, doing quaint little village speed. Some speed cameras along here, so again, I am not going to be speeding. I believe there probably will be traffic up here anyway, because it is such a popular road. Sarcasm, don't I? more fun as we go down into the twisties. Because it's a grey and miserable day, we don't have as many motorcyclists out. For you cyclists amongst you, you may recognise this, as this was used on many cycling events. I believe it was actually, that summit was actually the finish of a stage of a Tour of Britain a couple of years ago, a couple of 5 years ago. Now, I am crossing lines, yes, however, I have a lovely, lovely view down the valley to see what's coming and see other cars if they were to arrive, and I am nowhere near the speed limit for this road before anybody chimes in again on that. God, I love this car. I am going to be very, very sad when I hand the keys over on Tuesday to this car. I know I'm getting a car that I really, really want afterwards, but still, I'm going to miss this car. This isn't even four-wheel drive, high-power version. This is the boring rear-wheel drive version with only 286 brake horsepower. But it's still an incredible amount of fun. Coming up the hill. So slowly. Let's just get past it. I can actually hear the tyre scrub more than the engine, and this is yes, you don't hear the revs building and have to do gear changes, but there's different suggestions you're getting from the car about how hard you're pushing, and yeah, it's not the fact that it doesn't have noises, it has different noises. Because there are cyclists, we're going to have to watch out for people being on the opposite side of the road as they overtake cyclists coming up the hill. So again, not going to be committing massively to blind corners and keeping an eye out, especially in slow areas like this. currently beaming from ear to ear, and that Clio is actually being pedalled quite nicely down here. And yeah, I love this car and I love this road. I hope to God it looks as good on video as it feels to be coming down this road. I do. This is one of my favourite all-time driving roads in the world, let alone in the UK, and I've been very privileged to get to drive some great roads around the world. I was spoiled growing up. I was definitely spoiled. I got to drive these roads days before average speed cameras. Days before speed cameras full stop. When petrol was cheap. And you could buy cars for £80. One of my first cars was bought for £80 out of the scrapyard. I am probably going to get way too nostalgic for this. Is pedaling along very, very nicely, so I am more than happy just to sit behind him. Cruise control behind them because the next bit of road is lovely and flowing, and it is more about the view than anything. you, everyone. Nice meal. Shepherd's Inn, very nice. Shepherd's Inn always used to do brilliant chicken and chips. Probably a new owner by now, but you know. Always taking the defensive line into the. Be honest, when I was in a classic Mini and you were doing this, or maybe 60 miles an hour along here when it wasn't 60, it did feel a lot quicker and a lot more fun, but still, it's still a lovely road. The top stuff around Hartside Pass in a classic Mini was borderline terrifying. I won't lie, it was borderline terrifying, but good Lord, was it fun. To me, he is actually driving along quite nicely along this road. He could be dawdling, he could be doing 30 miles an hour for all I care, but yeah, there is no point going risky and trying to overtake him because he's driving nicely. go. That was my favourite road. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so I pulled into a car park just before I get back on the motorway to go south. As you could hopefully seen from that, it was a lot of fun. I know this is a long video. I just wanted to come up with some closeout points. When we started off, as we were going through Milton, the dashboard was reading figures 215 miles range and 78%. It's now reading 59% and 149 miles. So in roughly 40 miles, we have used up 66 miles of range according to the guessometer, and used up roughly 20% of battery. Now, is that a lot? Yes. If I'd driven a 50 mile per gallon diesel down that road, I would not have got 50 mile per gallon. If I'd used the Audi which I had last year, which barely, and I mean barely, especially you'd have to run it on a warm day with a tailwind, would you get 50 mile per gallon out of it? That diesel would not have been anywhere close to 50 mile per gallon if I'd have been enjoying that road in the way I was enjoying this car on that road. Again, everything was nice and legal, and I was being definitely very, very safe with what I would have done previously in my misspent youth. I hope you've enjoyed this. To answer the question at the start of the video, are EVs fun on Backroads? Yes, they are. I wish I had a different camera somewhere in here pointing at my face for you to see the beaming grin which was going all the way along that road. Do they use a stupid amount of battery? No, they don't. I've got 59%, which is enough to get from here in Penrith easily back home to Cheshire. So, yeah. Thanks very much for watching. Again, if you have liked this, please comment, share, subscribe, press the like button, press the dislike button if you thought I was being an idiot. If you thought anything that I did was dangerous, that's your opinion. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a different one from normal. I need to bring this closer. I need to